Iraqi Dinar Guru Opinions January 27, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Iraqi Dinar Guru Opinions Predictions January 27, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground Report, Firefly. Television news reporting there is a liquidity issue, that more than 70% of Iraqi citizens are still hoarding their 30 notes and many are not bringing them to the bank. January 27, 2025 Newshound Guru Claire question. Governor of the Central Bank of Iraq meets an official delegation from the United States. Quote, during the meeting, they discussed banking and economic relations between the two countries and the upcoming visit of the Central Bank of Iraq delegation to Washington and their meeting with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and American companies next April. Of Iraq delegation to Washington and their meeting with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and American companies next April. January 26, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26 The new lower notes EMO will only work with a new exchange rate and not the 1310. The dinars are the highest form of intel and highest form of security that there is on this planet Earth right now. Lower notes, is the most highly guarded object and secret at this moment. The CBI and Sudani cannot afford one small slip-up, one tiny little leak, even the color. You don't want any information to be let out? Even the shape of the new lower notes. All this must be kept tightly under wraps until the new exchange rate is finally released. January 26, 2025 Newshound Guru Pimpy You don't have to wait to find out if the news is vetted. All you have to do is go over to, see what the current exchange rate is. If it's the same, no, nothing hard. January 26, 2025 Newshound Guru Samson article, Iraq. Discovery of the largest oil reserve in the center of the country. With 2 billion barrels, quote, the Middle Oil Company, in cooperation with the Chinese company, EBS, announced a major oil discovery in the East Baghdad. January 26, 2025 Intel Guru Wolverine President Trump has, allegedly, signed the executive order on cryptocurrency finance. Which means we can now get started, when banks open on Monday the 27th of January 2025. Get ready everyone, buckle your seatbelts as we are about to go warp speed. January 26, 2024 Newshound Guru Sandy Ingram Germany's currency, the Deutsche Mark, began to significantly increase in value in 1948, however. The real boost to the Deutsche Mark's value and purchasing power came in the following decade, during the 1950s, as West Germany experienced the Wirtschaftswunder or economic miracle. The Deutsche Mark's strength was tied to West Germany's rapid industrial recovery, strong export performance, and prudent monetary policies. By the mid-1950s, the Deutsche Mark was considered one of the most stable and valuable currencies globally. However, there is something else that Germany did that Iraq has not accomplished. Germany disconnected from anything and everything concerning World War II or the previous German leader. The German people showed a remarkable and consistent desire to assimilate with the world. Iraq has not shown this level of commitment as a whole. January 26, 2024 Newshound Guru Sandy Ingram There is another major difference between Germany and Iraq's response to war. Germany faced significant restrictions after World War II. These restrictions were part of the post-war agreements to ensure that Germany could not pose a military threat again. Its military forces were disbanded, and the production of weapons and military equipment was prohibited. Germany was required to pay reparations. These reparations were paid in the form of goods, resources and forced labor. Initially, Germany's international trade was heavily restricted. The Marshall Plan provided financial aid to rebuild the economies of Western Europe, including West Germany, and ultimately helped reintegrate Germany into the global economy. By the 1950s, many of the most restrictive economic measures on West Germany had been lifted, allowing for its remarkable economic recovery. The war ended in 1945 and by 1950 Germany was well on its way to financial recovery. Now people all over the world are driving Mercedes-Benz. January 26, 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru FNULNU Some people apparently have no idea how the oil business works. The originating price for oil is roughly $34 per barrel. The rest of the price is involved in brokers' fees, transportation, delivery, and holding. This is how the $34 base cost turns into $75, which is the current end cost of oil per barrel. Now there is a dinar for oil program. China has international sanctions, and part of that was their exclusion from the Iraq dinar auctions. Therefore, they sought to acquire dinar from other sources like private dinar owners. They wanted to be able to buy Iraqi oil, so they started offering private owners an enticing price. They made contracts with private owners through intermediaries. That is the contract rate, not $75 per dinar. The idea of $75 per dinar is not reality-based. The USD put a halt to the contracting of dinar as of October 2011. Unless you have a pre-2011 contract, you will not get a contract rate from the mythical redemption centers. January 26, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26. We are waiting for this amendment to be completed for Article 12. Parliament will have to deal with the budget line by line, which will require an exchange rate. 1310 mathematically will not work with all the major projects and contracts they have. We are very close to this budget exposing its guts. Every day we seem to be getting closer and closer to the reality of a new exchange rate with lower notes to match. January 26, 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman. This article is March 14, 2023. It says time to get back to the previous era. What are they talking about? What was the value of Iraq's dinar in the previous era? In 1987, the price of one dinar was $3.30. I'm not saying a date or rate. I'm just giving you an example of what they were like in a previous era. They told us, the glory days, the previous era. Remember what al-Sudani said? He didn't say a time specific about when the dinar was going to be stronger than the dollar. He just said that it was, and he told his citizens to be careful. It's all coming full circle. January 26, 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z. Via PDK, Wealth Management, Redemption Center folks are on call this weekend. But they are being told to expect a couple of long weekends in the very near future. They were specifically told to expect to work next weekend and the next few weekends after that, and to enjoy this last weekend on call, because they are about to work a lot. January 26, 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru MNT Goat article. Hantush. Electronic payment reduces the cost of paper currency and supports economic transparency. In early January 2023. The Finance Committee told us this was their goal, to market the electronic payment process and do it in a big way. Sounds like their goal was accomplished. I know from my CBI contact that this had to be accomplished to conduct the project to delete the zeros. Dr. Shabibi also in 2011 told us this was an integral part of this plan to withdraw nearly 2/3 of the monetary mass in circulation and to conduct the project to delete the zeros. Well, they're telling us now this is successful and done. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com